What's up, guys? So I've been getting a lot of questions after documenting my journey on this recovery from a labrum repair in the hip, an FAI fix, and shaving down a cam lesion. So just give you guys a background. Had a lot of surgeries before: Achilles, quadricep tendon, ankle, and now had to get a surgery on my hip. And the surgery that we're talking about today, there's mixed reviews, right? Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. And so I wanted to walk you through kind of my recovery process and hopefully give you guys some insight into, should I get this surgery? Is it going to be beneficial for me? So like I said at the beginning of the video, I had a labrum repair my hip. I had some cartilage damage that they repaired. They shaved down a cam lesion, which is a bony protrusion on the hip that makes it not move through the socket as well. And ultimately, I had symptoms of a labrum repair for almost a year. I own a training facility, and for a long time thought maybe this is something I could work through or fix myself. So going into it, I had a lot of pain in the hip, mostly after I would train. So I like to still sprint, jump. So anybody that's like really active or still sprinting and jumping and doing, full depth, free weight movements in the gym, squatting, anything like that, you are probably going to start to have some symptoms and pain with that, and that might be what turns you on to go in and get it checked out and imaged. So essentially, after getting it imaged, they gave me an idea of what the options were, and the first option is you can kind of deal with it over time. If the labrum is torn, after some more research looking into this, you're definitely going to continue to do more cartilage damage, especially if you're doing explosive movements. So essentially, my option was get it fixed now, or kind of just deal with it and probably have to get a hip replacement in the next 10 to 15 years. I'm only 33 years old, so for me that wasn't an option based on what I like to do and the lifestyle I live. So ultimately decided to get the surgery, even though having mixed reviews. My brother had the surgery, didn't love it that much in terms of how it feels now. And so I'm currently almost 6 months out. I'm like 5.5 months, which they say 6 months is a full recovery. And my process was, for me, not recommending what you guys should do, but I definitely got back on it as soon as I could. So as long as pain wasn't too bad, I began walking probably before I should have. I started jogging before I should have. Started lifting weights in limited range of motion as soon as possible. So the first big worry was it being really debilitating. And I'd say within the first 2 to 3 weeks, I was doing some shape or form of what I enjoyed, and it actually felt better than before. So before surgery, I had pain in the hip, especially after doing those intense movements. I also was starting to get radiating pain up into my stomach and groin, and then down through the inside of my leg or my adductor, and even to the point where I thought I maybe had a hernia. So I went and got that checked out, and it turns out I did not. So after the surgery, again, I got back on it as quickly as possible. Just did smart regressions of what I like to do to get it moving. I even golfed like a month after surgery and have been golfing since. And for me, it's been good. The surgery has been great. And I think there's a couple factors that go into it. Number one is getting back on it, getting active, and working on the range of motion of it. So once they give you the okay, the range of motion is probably the hardest part, especially if you sprint and you get a lot of hip extension. I still have some tightness in those positions, and I'm still working through those, but I'm able to go and do what I love and not have a lot of pain, like no pain with it at all. And I don't feel any pain like I used to for 2 to 3 days after sprinting and whatnot. So it's a big win in that category. I would definitely recommend finding a really great surgeon. This surgery is pretty new, and at the end of the day, it's a highly skilled one. It's one of the hardest ones, at least according to my local doctor here. It's one of the harder hip surgeries to perform. And it's definitely one that if you are going to do it, I'd recommend going out of your way to find somebody really good to do it. I went to Dr. Aoki at the University of Utah Orthopedics in Salt Lake City. And I'm fortunate to be pretty close to there because it turns out he's one of the guys on the West Coast that people, go out and search for to get this surgery done. So he's kind of the main guy on the west side of the country to go and get this surgery. A nurse, an anesthesiologist, that's a hard. They said that they call it the Aoki. So it's his surgery. So definitely find someone that's very good at this surgery. And from there, I think you're actually in a really good spot. I'm really happy I got the surgery done. Again, I have no pain. I have a little bit of limited range of motion. and working to continue to lengthen and strengthen through there. And, hopefully in the next couple months, it's basically like I didn't even have the surgery. It's getting pretty close to there now at 5.5 months, almost 6 months. So definitely is something you can get back from pretty quick. I think if you're active and you try to get out and get back into things you like to do, and would recommend, searching out for, again, the right doctor and deciding if it's a good fit. If you're not somebody that does sprinting, jumping, maybe you can get away, with walking and not having to get this surgery done, but highly recommend getting the surgery and, getting back to being able to do things pain-free. So hopefully that was helpful. I've had a lot of questions on it, and let me know how it goes if you guys do, or I can always link you up in the comments with the right surgeon and make sure you're calling the right spot if you are close to Salt Lake.